up for the entire tournament. There he is, Kieran Hickman.
Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my preview of Arsenal against Newcastle, Sunday afternoon, 4:30. That is, of course, if the game does not get cancelled because of this storm Dennis. Now, some of you might think, come on, they ain't going to get cancelled, but Manchester City against West Ham, that got called off last weekend because of the bad weather and the storms and everything else. And it's not to do with anything with inside the stadium, the pitch or anything like that. It's more to do with the safety outside of the stadium. And of course, transport could be badly affected. So hopefully this game does go ahead. Hopefully the weather dies down a little bit and it doesn't get too bad overnight, but we will wait and see. Now, we've had a couple of weeks off. We've had that break and everything else. And you know, we've seen all the pictures and all the videos of the players in Dubai and how well they're getting on and how refreshed they look and how everything coming out of the club is positive. But what we want to see now is the positivity on the pitch. That is it. We do not want to see anything else. We don't care about pictures, you know, riding camels and all the rest of it. We want to see performances. 3 points. If you do that, then we don't mind all the rest of the other stuff that goes on. Then we can look back and say, you know what, that trip to Dubai, that done us so good. That was the best thing that we ever did. Because look at the effect it's had on the team and the players. And even the fans. Because if you start performing, you start winning, the fans are going to start getting a little bit more hyped and a little bit more, you know, involved in everything. We've been going and, you know, pushing the team on over the last few weeks, despite all the draws and everything else. And that's one thing you can say. The fan base has been really good, especially at the away games. We're getting behind the players and there's not the moaning and groaning and everything else. We're still unbeaten in 2020. Remember that. And we're into the middle of February right now. It's just those draws, you know. And obviously, over the course of the weekend, the breaking news was Manchester City have been banned from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. Now, of course, they can appeal that, and I do feel they will appeal it at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. But I do feel that, you know, ban will be upheld. UEFA have to have something substantial on them. But Manchester City have unbelievable money behind them. And they're going to fight it tooth and nail, that's for sure. Maybe they'll get it reduced to a year, but I do think that ban is going to be in there for next season at least. And what this means, although it's not been confirmed yet, let's say that, or what everyone is saying, that because Manchester City are going to be one of the teams that do finish in a Champions League place, that the place will now go to whoever finishes 5th. Now, I know you're sitting there and saying, well, it won't be Arsenal, we're miles away. We're currently in 11th now. We were 10th, but after results and everything, we're in 11th. But we are only 8 points behind 5th place, which is currently held by Sheffield United. Unbelievable season they're having. 8 points with a game in hand. That could go down to 5. It's there or thereabouts, you know. Nobody seems to be wanting to cement their place in that Champions League spot. I feel that Liverpool, Man City and Leicester will be the top 3. Unless Leicester, you know, have this amazing drop over the next few weeks. I feel that that's what the top 3 will be. Manchester City, they've not going to get the Champions League place, like we said. So it's down to whoever finishes 5th. You've got Sheffield United, you've got Wolves, you've got Manchester United, you've got Spurs, you've got Chelsea. But it's so close. You know, Chelsea are the ones in 4th, I believe, at the moment. So they're ahead. But they could get dragged back down into that battle for 5th because everything's so tight. And you're looking at it and you're saying, you know what, 8 points game in hand. You know what, that's not far away, you know. We could actually go and get it. Now, of course, we do have to hold our horses a little bit because it's not guaranteed that 5th place is going to be given to, you know, take over from Manchester City. It's not a given that this ban won't be overturned by Manchester City. So let's get all those in place before we start thinking, yeah, you know what, fifth is up for grabs. And before anything, let's get our own house in order and let's start winning games. First and foremost, our next 3 league games are all at home. You know, we're playing Newcastle, we're playing Everton, and we're playing West Ham. We need to pick up 9 points. It's as simple as that. We get on a run, get some momentum, and it's all there to take. Because no one else is going on a run. Nobody else has got that momentum. So let's be the team that actually does it. Let's now do the talking on the pitch, because we've done loads of it. We've heard Mikel Arteta. We've heard everything that's going on. And everything sounds great. And we can see change and we can see things going on the pitch. But now you've got to go and turn those draws into wins. Simple. Next 3 home games, I want nothing but 9 points. Anything less than 9 points, failure. End of story. So, Newcastle, not having a bad season, doing all right under Steve Bruce. And I feel that they're going to sit deep in this game and they're going to look to counter-attack. And they've got dangerous players that can hurt you. We have predominantly got a really good home record against Newcastle. So that should stand us in good stead. But we can't take anything for granted, because if we do, we will come unstuck. And it's as simple as that. So line up. It's going to be very, very interesting. Still not going to see any of the new signings. You listen to Mikel Arteta's press conference and they're not quite ready. So, yeah, we're going to have to go with what's there. But some players are back from injury. And hopefully the players are fresh. And hopefully Mikel Arteta picks the right lineup. So with that said, I'm going to go and get into my predicted 1 to 11. Starting off in goal, Leno. Straightforward decision. And number 1 goalkeeper. One of the best in the Premier League. I cannot say no more than that. Going to move into the back 4. First of all, on the right-hand side, Hector Bellerin. And he's been brilliant since he's come back. Keeping Maitland-Niles out the side. I thought Maitland-Niles was doing really well before Hector came back. And, you know, it was quite a surprise when Hector was rushed in against Chelsea. But he's proving, you know, the faith in the manager. So, yeah, Hector Bellerin goes on that right-hand side. In the back line, first of all, in centre defence, I'm going to go with David Luiz. And he's one of the players that's really stood up and stood out since Mikel Arteta's took over. So, yeah, no problems with this decision whatsoever. And that's David Luiz. Now, alongside him, I'm going to go with Mustafi. And I'll tell you something, I never thought I'd see the day that I'll be picking Mustafi in the side. I didn't want to see him in an Arsenal shirt again, but he's doing brilliant. Last 2 games, he's been absolutely superb. I just hope this is not one of those games where he goes and makes a mistake, because he has a couple of good games, then he makes a mistake and all that's undone. Don't make those mistakes. And let's see the Mustafi that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. In the left-back position, we've got a choice to make here, because Kolasinac is back from injury. And Saka, despite a slight knock before the break, he is fully fit and ready. And I'm going to stick with Saka. I feel that even though he's not the first choice, you know, experienced left-back that knows that position, I think that the way he's been playing, why would you change it? Kolasinac's got to work to get himself back in the team as far as I'm concerned, so I would stick with Saka. Moving into the 2 that sit in front of the back 4, and first of all, Granit Xhaka. And again, this is another player that has been stand out since Mikel Arteta's took over, and he's very, very crucial to the way that we play. The best pivot for me is with Granit Xhaka in there, and alongside him, it has to be Lucas Torreira. I know last time out that Guendouzi got in there against Burnley, but need to go back to this one. Torreira just does that bit more for me. Guendouzi, energy, work rate and all the rest of it, I just feel that he holds on to the ball a little bit too much. Torreira, he wins it, releases it, wins it, releases it. It's key to the way that we play and, you know, the speed of process that we need to go through. So that's what I'm going to go with those 2 sitting in front. On the right hand side, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. And yeah, you know what, I'm hoping to see a really good last couple of months from him. It's very clear that he's been bulking up. If you look at the size of his legs now in comparison to when he signed, it's all part of the process. He's got to bulk up. He's got to get used to the pace and the intensity of the Premier League. And he's starting to show that in recent weeks. If you look at some of my previous previews, I've been saying that he's slowly starting to adapt and get used to it. But now We need end product. We need to start seeing some goals and assists, etc, etc. Home game, yeah, I'll play Nicolas Pepe. On the left of that three, I'll go with Martinelli. And yeah, I've got no problem with this whatsoever. I think that he should be playing because he's been absolutely brilliant. And hopefully he can carry on the form that he has been showing throughout the course of the season. And yeah, I've got every bit of faith in him. In the middle of that three, again, this is where we got some selection headaches. You could go with Joe Willock. You could go with Dani Ceballos, but I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil, being the fact that it is a home game. Now, despite the flaws within Mesut Ozil's game in the last couple of weeks, the one thing he normally does is turn up when we play at home. So I'm banking on that, because on his day, he can do the business. Off his day, he don't look great. Let's hope he's on his day, and that's what I'm going to go with, Mesut Ozil. Up front as the main striker, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I want to see him up front in his more favoured role. Lacazette is so out of form at the moment, and I wouldn't shoehorn him in the side and get him in there just for the sake of it. Lacazette's going to have to make do with, you know, FA Cup games and Europa League games. Try and get himself on the score sheet. Try and get confidence. Don't push Aubameyang out on that left-hand side. Play him predominantly straight through the middle. Pepe one side, Martinelli the other, and Nicolas Pepe behind him. Simple as that. So there we go. That is it. That is my preview. That is my predicted lineup. As usual, let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. What would you go with if it's not the same as mine? Massive, massive game. None of this 1 point anymore. We've got to pick up 3 points. It's as simple as that. There's going to be a player ratings after the game. If the game goes ahead, remember that. I think it will, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, player ratings. I'm going to be doing live streams throughout the course of the next few months now. It's going to be something regular that I'm going to be bringing to the channel. Talking about football in general, not just Arsenal. So look out for those. And yeah, we'll see what happens. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video. And I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.